Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a really disturbing case, one that properly gripped the UK. It started as this desperate search for a missing teenager, Becky Watts, but it ended up uncovering something truly chilling. You've brought us a very comprehensive source on this, and our job, like always, is to dig into it, pull out the key insights. We'll focus on how the investigation unfolded and, well, the awful truth that came out from behind all the lies, the initial shock. The way the community came together, it just contrasted so sharply with the horrifying reality that emerged later. It's incredible how dark secrets can hide right under our noses.
Indeed. And what's really striking about the Becky Watts case is how fast it went from, like, a local missing person report to something much darker.
Yeah.
It really shows the challenge for investigators, doesn't it? When things aren't what they seem at first glance, they had to peel back so many layers.
Absolutely. So let's start with Becky herself. Who was she? 16 years old, from Bristol. Her close friends described her as burly and feisty with a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah.
So confident with people she knew well.
Right.
But apparently quieter, more shy at school. Everyone agreed, though, she was really caring, kind, had a massive heart. Not the type to just vanish.
No, definitely not.
So her last known movements. Thursday, February 19th, 2015. Seen her on 11:15 in the morning, at home. She left with just her tablet, phone, laptop, that's it. No spare clothes. Didn't tell anyone where she was off to. Didn't stay out late usually. This was totally out of character for her.
It really was. And for investigators, those out-of-character details are immediate red flags. It instantly elevates it beyond a standard missing persons case.
Right.
And like you said, for a teenager these days, going silent digitally, no texts, no social media updates, that's often a really loud alarm bell. It suggests that something was seriously wrong, not just a case of her running off.
Her dad, Darren, he made that desperate 999 call, it's the UK emergency number, on Friday, February 20th, around 4 p.m. He'd been trying to reach her. Friends, too, no luck. Then he put out this really emotional plea on Facebook. And the story, well, it just blew up nationally pretty quickly. You saw that hashtag everywhere, hashtag Find Becky.
The community response was huge.
Yeah, the search effort was massive. Police, loads of volunteers out looking. They covered open ground, woods, searched 3 houses, Troopers Hill Nature Reserve, even a local lake.
They even had a helicopter up, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Posters everywhere. Just this huge wave of hope and concern from everyone.
And during that initial phase, the police strategy is key. It's not just about looking in places. It's about building a picture of exactly who Becky was.
Right, understanding her life.
Exactly. Talking to friends, family, figuring out her routines, relationships, anything that might explain why she disappeared. And it was those early conversations, those first interviews, that started to raise some, well, pretty chilling red flags looking back.
And 2 of the key people interviewed early on were Becky's stepbrother, Nathan Matthews, and his girlfriend, Shauna Hoare. They were the last ones known to have seen her. Shauna's first story was she heard a door slam, thought Becky had just left. Said something like she heard stomping downstairs and thought Becky was having one of her tantrums.
Yeah, and this is where experienced detectives really earn their stripes. Shauna apparently seemed quite giggly and rather upbeat in that first interview.
Giggly. It's odd.
Very odd given the situation. Nathan, on the other hand, seemed sort of unconcerned. But the biggest giveaway, according to DCI Richard Acone, who worked at the case, was that their stories lined up too perfectly.
Too perfectly. How so?
Well, genuine witnesses, they usually have slightly different recollections. Maybe they forget small details, get timings a bit wrong. It's normal. When 2 stories match precisely detail for detail, it often signals collusion, like they'd rehearsed it. It's a big psychological flag for fabrication.
Okay, so the search goes on for 9 days. Awful time for the family, obviously. Hope starts to fade. And then the investigation takes this really dark turn. Police focus back on Becky's own house. They bring in forensics, and they find something. Faint spots of blood on her bedroom doorframe.
And that discovery was absolutely pivotal. Forensics confirmed 2 massive things. The fingerprints in that blood belonged to Nathan Matthews.
Wow.
And the blood itself was Becky's. That just changed everything. Nathan and Shauna were immediately arrested on suspicion of kidnap. The focus snapped right onto them.
So this Nathan Matthews, Becky's stepbrother, 10 years older, knew her since she was tiny, like 2 years old. Apparently his relationship with Becky's dad, Darren, had been tricky for years. Nathan didn't like Darren getting involved in his life or his mom's life. And there were these unsettling stories from his past, too. Like when he was 19, he brought 4 really young girls, looked about 12, back to the house. Darren had to tell him to take them home straight away.
Yeah, that's concerning.
And he was apparently really dismissive. when Becky struggled with an eating disorder. Just said she was doing it for attention. Plus, he lied about Shauna's age when they first got together. Told everyone she was 19 when she was actually only 15.
Look, none of those things are direct evidence of murder, obviously. But they start to build a picture, don't they? Someone who maybe disregards boundaries, is prone to lying, lacks a bit of empathy. In hindsight, these character traits become part of understanding his potential, his capacity for something so awful. It gives context.
Okay, so forensics then go to Nathan and Shauna's house. And it's described as being in disarray, just clutter and mess everywhere. But one thing stands out massively. The bathtub upstairs was spotless, shiny, and extremely clean, completely out of sync with the rest of the house.
And that right there shows you the importance of just sharp police observation, even in chaos. A gleaming bathtub in a house like that, it screams cleanup. It screams someone trying very, very hard to get rid of evidence.
Yeah, you can almost picture it.
It immediately suggests whatever happened involved that bathtub, and it wasn't something innocent. It points towards calculation, not just impulse.
Then they find the receipts from B&Q, the DIY store. Yeah. 2 receipts showing that on Friday, February 20th, the day Becky was reported missing, someone bought an electric circular saw, goggles, gloves, and a mask. And CCTV confirmed it was Nathan who bought them.
That discovery just shifted everything. Buying a saw, goggles, a mask, the day after she disappears. That raises horrific questions. It changed the investigation focus instantly from kidnap to murder. Nathan and Shauna were rearrested, this time on suspicion of murder. And then, of course, the devastating task of telling Becky's family.
God, imagine getting that news. Then on March 3rd, Nathan's lawyer gives a statement. He admits he's responsible for Becky's death. His story was, well, it was horrifying. He claimed he planned to scare Rebecca, kidnap her to teach her a lesson, said he thought she was selfish and somehow a risk to his mother's health.
Just a bizarre justification.
Totally bizarre. He said he brought a bag, a stun device, handcuffs, tape, a mask. There was a struggle. His mask slipped. Becky saw him, so he panicked and strangled her while she was partly in the bag he'd brought.
And that narrative, however twisted, it connects the dots with the evidence. The timing, especially. Remember, the saw was bought after he says he killed her.
Right, so the dismemberment happened afterwards.
Exactly. He used that saw to dismember her body in that spotless bathtub, which they'd obviously cleaned meticulously afterwards. The coldness of buying the tools after the murder, it's profoundly disturbing.
And then they found her body parts. Police got new information, led them to a house in Barton Court, not far from Nathan and Shauna's place. She'd been wrapped in plastic bags, cling film, and had used cat litter and salt crystals to try and soak up fluids and hide the smell. That level of concealment, it just speaks volumes about the planning, doesn't it? It's not panic.
No, it absolutely screams cold calculation. This wasn't just an attack that went wrong. It seems like a planned abduction, murder, and then a systematic attempt to dispose of the evidence. That kind of behavior points to a real detachment, a focus on self-preservation above all else. And the pathology report, it was brutal. Becky had fought for her life, over 40 injuries, died most likely from suffocation, hand over her nose and mouth, and then horrifically she was stabbed 15 times after she was already dead.
Oh, God. Those 40 injuries.
Yeah.
She fought so hard. And the postmortem stabbing it's just pure cruelty, isn't it? Beyond just killing someone. Now, Shauna, she kept saying she had no idea about any of it until Nathan confessed. Even told police they wouldn't find proof she touched anything. But the investigators, they kept digging in the digital trail. That's where her story completely fell apart.
It's incredible what digital forensics can pull back, isn't it? Things people think they've deleted.
Yeah. They recovered deleted messages from Shauna's phone. And this is months before the murder, December 9th, 2014. Nathan texts Shauna, "You bring me back 2 pretty schoolgirls then." No. Shauna replies, "Just went to Cost Cutters and saw a very big cat, pretty petite girl, almost knocked her out to bring her home, LOL."
Chilling. Just chilling. That LOL at the end. And those messages, combined with internet searches they'd done for pornographic material involving girls around Becky's age, it revealed this shared, deeply disturbing interest in teenage girls.
So it wasn't just Nathan's fantasy.
No, it suggested a shared fantasy, maybe even joint planning or premeditation around abduction. It completely destroyed her claim of being an innocent bystander. Plus, her DNA was found on one of the masks used and on a bag containing body parts.
Ew.
That physically linked her directly to the crime scene and the disposal.
That forensic link is damning. Okay, let's piece together that timeline again based on everything the investigation uncovered. It's horrific, but it shows the calculation involved. February 19th, the day she died.
Right. February 19th. Becky's home, expecting a normal day. Nathan and Shauna drive over, stopping for batteries first. That tiny detail suggests planning. They know she'll be alone. Nathan reverses the car onto the drive, boot facing the front door. Not how you'd normally park. It's positioned for a quick getaway.
Ready to load something. Or someone. So the window for the attack.
Becky sends her last text at 11:03 a.m. The attack happens shortly after. She's suffocated, put in the boot. Then, get this, by 12:45 p.m., Nathan's mom, Angie, comes home. Nathan and Shauna just act completely normal, like nothing happened. Chilling composure.
Unbelievable. They just carried on.
Carried on. Becky's boyfriend comes around at 5 p.m., worried sick because she's not replying. Shauna even pretends to help look for her. It's only at 7 p.m., after spending hours with the family, knowing Becky's body is in the boot outside, that they finally drive home. They take her body inside, dismember her in the bath, and then they order pizza and Chinese takeaway.
Just square. The sheer callousness. Okay, next day, Friday the 20th, Becky's dad reports her missing.
Yeah.
What are they up to?
12:20 p.m., Nathan buys drain cleaner. Then he goes to B&Q and buys the saw, goggles, gloves, mask, all while the search is kicking off. 4 p.m., the 999 call is made. Shauna even shares Darren's desperate Facebook post asking for help. That evening, back home, they watch a YouTube video called "Do You Want to Hide a Body?"
You could make it up. The days after.
Saturday 21st, Sunday 22nd, they're buying more supplies. Bin bags, bleach, rubble sacks, cling film, tape, sponges, all the cleanup and disposal kit from different shops. Monday 23rd, police try to interview them. They get silence. Later that day, someone uses one of their phones to Google "Find Becky Watts." 2 minutes after that search, Shauna calls her estranged mother, someone she hadn't spoken to in 4 years.
That's such a weird telling detail, calling her mom out of the blue like that. And the final step.
Tuesday 24th, just after 2 a.m., CCTV picks up a white van driving towards the house where Becky's remains were eventually discovered. That's believed to be when they moved her body. Putting that whole timeline together, it's not panic, it's sustained collaborative effort, both in the murder and the incredibly detailed cover-up.
Then the trial. Bristol Crown Court. October 2015. And this must have been just devastating for Becky's family. They heard for the first time that Becky had told a friend 2 years earlier that Nathan had actually told her in graphic detail how he planned to murder her. She never told her family.
Imagine hearing that in court. Just horrific.
They also heard about Nathan's time in the Territorial Army Reserves. Witnesses said his temper would show, he'd snap, throw things, a pattern of aggression there too.
The prosecution really hammered home that shared sexual interest in teenage girls as the motive. Shauna's defense that she was just scared of Nathan, didn't know what was really going on, it just didn't hold up against the evidence, the texts, the DNA, her actions.
And her estranged mom even testified, didn't she, about Shauna turning up suddenly. She apparently joked to Shauna, "I know why you're here all the time. You're running from the police because you've kidnapped Becky."
Yeah, a moment of just dark, awful irony in the courtroom that probably didn't help Shauna's case at all.
The jury. They only took 3 hours. Which tells you how strong the evidence must have felt. Nathan Matthews, guilty of kidnap and murder. Life sentence, minimum 33 years. Shauna Hoare, cleared of murder, but guilty of kidnap and manslaughter. Sentenced to 17 years. Thinking back, what piece of evidence or maybe investigative step do you think was the absolute key, the thing that really cracked it open, despite all their lies?
That's a good question. The digital stuff was vital for Shauna's conviction, definitely. But I think maybe it was Nathan's own confession, however flawed and self-serving it was, once he admitted the killing, admitted the dismemberment, even with his twisted reasons. It gave the police the framework. It connected all the physical evidence, the timeline, the purchases. It turned grim speculation into confirmed awful fact.
Yeah, that makes sense. The aftermath. Just heartbreaking. Becky's funeral, the streets lined with mourners. They released a white dove, planted a baby apple tree for her. Her dad, Darren, wrote that book, pouring his grief into it. Becky, the heartbreaking story of Becky Watts. And there was a serious case review afterwards, standard procedure in these cases. It concluded the murder couldn't have been predicted, couldn't have been stopped, but it did say maybe not enough attention was paid to Becky's wider family situation, the stepbrother, his girlfriend, and the impact their behavior, like the bullying Matthews apparently subjected her to, might have been having on her anxiety.
Yeah, sometimes those wider dynamics get missed.
So this case started as that frantic search, ended by uncovering this horror within the family itself.
Yeah.
The police work, the digital forensics, those sharp observations about little details like the bathtub, all crucial in getting justice for Becky.
It really does raise an important question, doesn't it? This case is such a stark reminder that appearances can be incredibly deceptive. Seemingly normal relationships can hide the darkest secrets. Those subtle clues, the out of character stuff, the little inconsistencies in stories, those are often the threads that, when pulled, unravel the whole truth. It's a lesson in just how vital that detailed police work is, and maybe trusting those gut feelings when something feels off.
Absolutely. And the community rallied so strongly for Becky. Her family, dealing with unimaginable pain, showed incredible strength. It leaves you thinking, doesn't it? In our own lives, how well do we really know the people around us? How much do we see beyond the surface? And maybe what's our responsibility when we get that little feeling of unease about someone, even if we can't quite put our finger on why?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's sobering thought to end on.